Welcome back to Money Mechanics. Let us make your money work harder than you do. Debt rarely announces itself. It arrives one reasonable decision at a time until the math is quietly running your life instead of you. Here is how it usually starts. A credit card covers a car repair 1 month, then it quietly covers groceries the next, and nobody feels like they are in real trouble yet. You make the minimum payment on time, you feel like a responsible adult, and you move on with your week. That comfortable feeling is exactly where the trap likes to hide. Because a card charging 24% interest grows faster than almost anyone expects. On a $6,000 balance, that is roughly $120 a month in interest before you buy a single new thing. And when you pay only the minimum, the large majority of that payment goes straight to interest, while barely any of it touches the actual money you borrowed in the first place. So the balance just sits there month after month, refusing to move. You reach for the card again for something reasonable, and the hole quietly gets a little deeper each time. This is what people call the debt spiral. It is not a character flaw, and it is not a willpower problem. It is compound interest working quietly against you every single day. That is exactly why smart, hardworking, disciplined people get caught in it. Every individual decision along the way looked completely reasonable and even responsible in the moment they made it. But here is the part almost nobody explains. The very same math that quietly traps you can be turned around and put to work in your favor instead. So let me walk you through 5 concrete moves that break the spiral in the right order and then keep you out of it for good. Move 1. See the real number. This is the move almost everyone skips, and it is exactly why they stay stuck. You simply cannot fix a number that you refuse to sit down and look at. So block off 20 minutes, open every single account, and write down 4 specific things for each separate debt that you owe money on. Write the balance you owe, the interest rate you pay, the minimum payment they ask for, and the exact day it is due each month. Every card, every loan, all of it. Then put them all in one list and sort it from the highest interest rate at the top down to the lowest at the bottom, because that order becomes important very soon. Now add every balance together into one single total. This is the real number that has been running quietly in the background of your life, whether you chose to look at it or not. Most people, when they finally do this, guess their own number too low by thousands of dollars, because avoiding it genuinely feels safer than knowing the truth. But it is not actually safer. The vague dread of not knowing is almost always heavier to carry than the real figure is once you see it written plainly on paper. Once your entire debt is on one page in front of you, it stops being a background mood you carry and becomes a specific, finite problem that you can actually start solving. Move 2. Stop the bleeding first. Before you try to pay anything down faster, you first have to stop the balance from growing. You cannot bail out a boat while water is still pouring in over the side. That means no new charges at all on the cards you are trying to clear. Take them out of your wallet and physically put them in a drawer at home for a while. Next, go after the interest rate itself, because the rate is the leak that keeps all that water pouring back in. Call each lender and simply ask them for a lower rate. On a card you have paid on time for a while, this works far more often than people expect, and the call takes 10 minutes. If your credit is even halfway decent, a balance transfer can move that debt onto a new card at 0% interest for 12 to 18 full months. For that entire window, every dollar you pay goes straight to knocking down the balance instead of the bank, and that is when people finally start seeing real, visible progress. Just read the transfer fee before you sign anything. It is usually 3 to 5% upfront, so run the quick math and make sure the deal still comes out clearly ahead. The goal of this move is simple. Freeze the size of the problem so that everything you do next is actually shrinking it, not just barely keeping pace with it. Move 3. Attack in the right order. Now you point every spare dollar you can find directly at the debt, but the order you attack in genuinely changes how fast and how cheaply you get free. First, always keep paying the minimum on every single account, so that nothing ever slips late and quietly wrecks your credit score in the process. Then take all of your extra money and throw the entire amount at the one debt with the highest interest rate, while every other debt just holds steady at its minimum. This is called the avalanche method, and mathematically it saves you the most money in interest and clears the whole pile in the least amount of time. When that highest rate debt is finally gone, you take its entire old payment and roll all of it onto the next debt sitting on your list. So the amount you are attacking with keeps snowballing larger at every single step, which means the last few debts end up falling shockingly fast. Now, if you honestly know that you need quick early wins to stay motivated, you can choose to pay off the smallest balance first instead, and that is completely fine. Because the best method here is simply the one that you will actually stick with all the way to the end. Pick one, fully commit, and stop switching between them. Move 4. Build a crash pad. Here is the real reason most people pay off their debt and then slide right back into it within a year. Life keeps happening while you are busy paying it down. The car breaks down, a tooth cracks, the overtime suddenly dries up, or the hours get cut at work without any warning at all. And with no cash set aside anywhere, that emergency has nowhere to go, except straight back onto the very card you just worked so hard to finally clear. So even before you are completely debt-free, park a small buffer, somewhere around $1,000, in a separate savings account you do not touch. This money is not your wealth, and it is not an investment. It is a wall standing directly between one bad week and a whole new spiral starting over. Keep it slightly out of reach, ideally at a different bank than your checking, so that you are not quietly tempted to spend it on a random whim. Then, when something inevitably does break, and it will, you simply pay for it in cash, you stay calm, and every bit of your hard progress stays completely intact. That small buffer is what turns paying off debt from a fragile streak that one bad month can end into something steady that actually holds up under real life. Move 5. Rewire the habit. Paying off the debt one single time does not actually keep you out of it. The very same habits that built the debt will quietly rebuild it if nothing around you changes. So automate every part of this that you honestly cannot be trusted to feel like doing on any given ordinary day. Set your loan payments and your savings to move automatically the day right after your paycheck lands, before that money is ever sitting there in reach. Then deliberately change your environment. Delete your saved cart numbers from shopping sites and give yourself a strict one-day waiting period before any purchase over $100. Give every future raise and every bonus a specific job before it ever arrives, because money without a plan quietly turns itself into new spending every single time. And track just one number every week, your total remaining debt, so that you always know for certain which direction you are genuinely moving in. Watching that one number fall week after week becomes its own quiet motivation, far stronger and more durable than any burst of guilt ever was. Because being out of debt is not one single dramatic moment. It is a quiet system running in the background of your life, and this time it is finally on your side. The spiral runs on autopilot until the day you take the wheel. Start with your real number tonight and let the same math that trapped you carry you back out. And that is how the money really works. If this helped, subscribe to Money Mechanics. Your future self will thank you.